Father Frank Quinlivan, C.S.C, spent more than 35 years of 50 plus years of his priesthood in Bangladesh as a missionary. I know him from my early childhood. He loved me and he was always someone I would looked up to, and I still do. We always had a special bond, and for me, he was a simple, humble, and prayerful man who lived his religious life faithfully and meaningfully in love for God and his people. He was a gift from God to our church in Bangladesh and to our Holy Cross community there, to our country with regard to his involvement in the ministry of Holy Cross education. Father Frank was a parish priest in our parish at St. Joseph, the worker parish at Sri Mongol, located in the northeast part of the country. There he served more than 9 years, and growing up, my vivid memory of Father Frank is, in our village, him behind the altar, offering the Eucharist, lifting high the chalice, and me looking at his fixed eyes at the chalice. He was a great pastor who learned from the Good Shepherd, Jesus himself. I think his personal relationship with Jesus helped him to grow as a good pastor with the smell of the sheep. People would come to Father Frank to talk to him, and he would listen to them for hours, be it in the confessional, in spiritual direction, or in conversations. He was a man of few words. However, I never heard him complain about things or ever bragging about his accomplishments. Father Frank was a man of hope. He played an important role in the education of children who lived in the margins, who otherwise would not have any chance to go to school. In the tea gardens at St. Joseph Parish, there were not many primary schools in the Christian villages. Father Frank revived the elementary schools in those villages. He restarted many schools, the schools that were shut for many years, by providing new teachers and other facilities. At St. Joseph Parish, if you happen to talk to people about Father Frank, you will find many people witness that they would not be where they are today if Father Frank would not have them helped in their education, especially in their tuitions for schools. I was talking to Sister Ridhika MC over the phone in Bangladesh about Father Frank, and in her exact words, Father Frank has helped me to find my vocation in the Missionaries of Charity. He paid for my boarding schools, and he later inspired me to join the Missionaries of Charity. He was a spiritual father to me. Father Frank had an excellent command over the Bangla language. He could fluently speak and write and read, and he loved singing Bangla songs with the youth group. He liked strong coffee. He used to smoke and read. He loved Bangladesh. Bangladesh was his heart and soul, and he always called Bangladesh his home. It was his dream that one day he would be buried in Bangladesh. He even switched his province and joined the Secretariat of Jesus Province. He was also a provincial superior for a term, then remained in the provincial council for a long time as councillor. He was a chaplain for many religious communities and spiritual director for many men and women in formation. He gave everything that he had for Bangladesh, his life, his service. When the need arose with the consent of his only sister, who is also a nun, he sold his parents' house and gave the total sum of the money to start a new college in Bangladesh called Notre Dame College, Mymensingh. Quinlivan building is named after their family on campus of Notre Dame College, Mymensingh. In June of 2017, I came to Notre Dame with Father Frank in Dhaka at the provincial house right before leaving for the airport. I was standing in front of the grotto. Father Frank knew I was nervous about coming to the States. He came behind me, tapped on my shoulder and said, "Don't worry, it will be okay." Father Frank always blessed us in many ways. I still believe he is blessing us today from heaven. And these lines from our constitutions are very meaningful as I remember Father Frank. The footsteps of those men who called us to walk in their company left deep prints of men carrying heavy burdens, but they did not trudge, they strode, for they had the hope. It is the Lord Jesus calling us. Come, follow me.